York City is home to one of the largest populations of freelancers in the country, from graphic designers, artists to gig workers. Thousands of independent workers contribute more than $1 trillion to the economy. Yet lack of portable benefits such as health care, retirement planning, and paid leave are some major issues that they face. One of the largest independent workers unions is working with policymakers in an effort to ensure that freelancers have access to those benefits that many who work for larger companies do. Joining me now to talk more about this is the executive director of the Freelancers Union, Rafael Espinal. Thank you for coming on the Rush Hour.
Thanks for having me.
Talk about what some of the hurdles are that independent workers are facing when it comes to equity with people who are working for a major corporation, for example.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's an issue that they face all over the country, but here in New York especially, I think we all can agree, it's a very expensive city, right? And because the city's so expensive, the money they earn, they have to set aside to pay for things like rent, putting food on the table, and doesn't leave enough wiggle room for them to put money aside to access benefits like health care, disability, retirement. So we as an organization are very focused on how we create those solutions for those workers. Over the years, we've tried to do that internally as a nonprofit organization, but I think we've gotten to a point where the workforce is so large and the need is so large that we finally need government to step in and think about how they're going to address the needs of the independent workforce moving forward.
And how does that look, ideally, from your perspective? What do you want the government to do to help these workers with those benefits?
Yeah, so currently, you know, if you are a traditional 9-to-5 employee and you have working for a corporate company, getting a great salary, you have access to benefits like health care, disability, retirement. If you're working independently, you don't. So what we believe should happen is that the government should step in and allow for companies to finally be able to invest into programs that will give those benefits to freelancers. And those freelancers are able to carry those benefits from job to job, gig to gig, right? So we call it portable benefits because the idea is that no matter who you're working for, you'll have access to those benefits to ensure that you have the resources you need to succeed in our city.
And when you say working with government, what specifically? Is that the government of New York City, New York State, the federal government?
Yeah, all three branches. Right now, we're seeing states, specifically red states, passing laws that will loosen classification laws there to allow corporate companies to make investments into retirement and healthcare accounts for freelance workers. There are laws here in New York that are too rigid and don't allow for companies to make those same investments. But the federal government is currently having those conversations. How do they modernize the current benefit system to ensure that companies who want to contribute to freelancer accounts to support them with benefits, that they're able to do so without encountering any sort of regulatory hurdles. While I do believe that the Republican lawmakers are taking a step in the right direction, I do believe that we should also be very cautious, right? I think Republicans have a history of putting corporate interests first, which is why I want to see Democrats step up to the table and start advocating for the needs of the workers.
For somebody who's working as an independent contractor now, for example, what benefits are you able to provide for them, and how do you want to see that changing for them? Is there anything that these workers, for example, can do?
Yeah, so currently as a nonprofit organization, we found creative models that allow us to provide grouped plans around health insurance, disability insurance, life insurance, even retirement plans. But the reality is that as much as we push to make them as affordable as we can, we really do need the federal government and corporations to step up to make their contributions to make these plans much more affordable for the workers. We want to make sure that the social safety net is broad enough to capture everyone. We want to make sure no one falls through the cracks.
How many people do you represent in New York?
Currently in New York, we have over 70,000 members.
In New York City?
In New York City. And we found studies that show that over 1.3 million New Yorkers engage in some sort of independent work.
We're in the thick of the mayor's race right now. Many unions have come out endorsing one candidate or another. Do you plan to make an endorsement?
We hope to make an endorsement before Election Day, and two issues that are very important to our members are affordability and access to affordable benefits. So looking forward to having those conversations and seeing which candidate is going to be best for those issues.
Affordability seems like it speaks to one candidate these days.
It does, it does. So I think one candidate is in a good place currently.
And when can we expect that?
Hopefully by September or October.
Got it. Rafael Espinal of the Freelancers Union. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me, Annika.